Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at Arklatex I'm meteorologist Josh Morris with your Monday morning forecast update. Starting out today with a little bit of fog. We'll end the day with some sunshine, some very warm temperatures as well, and we do have the threat of severe weather late Tuesday and especially Wednesday, and I'll have the breakdown of that in just a moment. Before your Monday morning commute, you can see we've got some fog and a little bit of mist still occurring here across the region, so we do have a dense fog advisory that is in effect through 10 a.m. for much of the region here. What's happening? We're clearing out behind the rain, which continues to push out of the region here, so the rain will be gone by the time most of us have to head out on the roadways this morning. And with the temperatures cooling down behind this front into the 40s and 50s, we are seeing that dense fog set up where the temperatures have dropped off. So there's your dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. this morning, and you can see why here as visibility has dropped down to about a mile or less across much of I-49, I-20, as well as I-30. Again, the numbers haven't dropped quite yet in Natchitoches, but once the rain moves through, the winds will kind of lighten up behind this front, and we should see that chance for fog to develop further to the south as well. Wind speed's pretty light out of the south, about 5 miles per hour. Once we get through the fog this morning, the winds will start to ramp up about 10, 11 a.m. or so. So we do have a lake wind advisory from 11 to 6. We're expecting south winds sustained about 10 to 20 miles per hour, and we'll have southwest gusts over 20 miles per hour at times today. So it will be breezy and definitely sunny and warm this afternoon as your highs will wind up in the 80s across much of the region today. And look at Futurecast for today, which shows the rain getting carried off to the east. Now, the tail end of this front will stall out just to the south of us. It is expected to stay south of us again much of the night tonight and much of the day tomorrow. But as we move through your Tuesday, there is a slight chance we'll see a little bit of rain develop as this front begins to lift back north as a warm front. You can see some thunderstorms popping up by tomorrow evening. That would be round one of some potential severe weather here. We could definitely see some storms capable of some hail and maybe some high wind here anywhere in the green. This would be Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, and then a line of storms will move in Wednesday morning, which is why we have the slight risk here for the northern Arklatex. And once we move through the day on Wednesday, there's a more significant severe weather threat, especially for much of Louisiana and Arkansas. And you can see what the Storm Prediction Center is basically thinking will be some significant severe weather off to the east of the Arklatex, but we'll have to watch how this develops, because if the warm front moves a little bit further to the north, conditions may be a little more favorable. So we're looking at the level 2 risk here, the slight risk for most of our counties and parishes, but the enhanced risk, again, just depending how things set up on Wednesday, we could see that pulled maybe a little bit further back to the west here. But either way, some impactful severe weather possible on Wednesday in the form of maybe some hail and high wind initially, but there is definitely a window or two there where we could see a few tornadoes as well. So you can see the upper low. This is what drove the storms through the Arklatex yesterday and early this morning. And then here's our next low, which is moving on to the California coastline. As that moves across the country, it is going to push that next cold front in on Wednesday. Here's a look at Wednesday. So by the time we get to early Wednesday morning, some of those showers and storms on the increase. And again, all hazards will be possible with this line of storms here, including that threat for maybe high wind and an isolated tornado or two. This initial round of storms may die off a bit, but as we warm up here on Wednesday, we're expecting another round to pop up here. And this is really where we would be watching for that most impactful severe weather. And our in-house model shows that threat of a second line of thunderstorms popping up by about noon Wednesday, and we'll really have to watch the afternoon and evening hours here for that potential for some strong to severe storms. But it looks like the severe weather threat wraps up pretty quickly late Wednesday afternoon, and we'll have quiet conditions take over Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. So how much rain here? Doesn't look like a big rainmaker for us, as we should see most locations receive less than an inch of rain, and thankfully a dry stretch of weather a little bit later this week. So once we get through the active weather days, pretty nice stretch of days from Thursday through Sundays. We'll see highs as we head into the weekend in the 60s and low 70s.